Sunny, come. Yes. Yes. Sunny, come. Yes. Yes.
So we've been working with Sunny a wee bit on nail trims. She hates having her nail trimmed, and being a poodle, she has to go to the groomers. How often do you take her, Kate? Monthly? 6 weeks? Every 6 weeks. Which, yeah, we do grooming our nails every week. So it's not, but the groomers can be harder on dogs because I can't control things and I'm a control freak.
Yes.
So all Sam's doing right now, this is Sam, you guys know Sam, and this is Kate.
Yes.
And that's her dog, Sunny. She was one of the poodles that we bred. We've done 2 poodle litters, and she was from our second poodle litter.
Yes. I'm just rewarding her for hanging out with me because she keeps wanting to go over to Kate. Yes, I need her to be with me if I'm going to do her nails. Don't want to do Kate's nails. I'm going to do Sunny's nails.
Kate might not mind.
Yes. Good girl.
So this is the beginning. We're not grabbing her and forcing her to do it. Sometimes you might have to do that, but not in this situation. We want to create a lifelong love of nail trims. And while we watch Sam do this, I'm going to tell you my story of nail trims. She gives kisses. It is the cutest thing. Kate has to teach that to everybody.
I didn't even have to ask for him. She was bopping around with us.
It's so cute. She boinks you and then she's good. So my story with nail trims is we had a Malinois, which if you don't know what a Malinois is, it is a cross between an alligator, a kangaroo, and a shark. And a raptor, velociraptor from Jurassic Park.
There's a dog in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's the tail. It's just the tail. But he hated having his nails trimmed, and he came to us at 7 months old, and he hated it then. So, but we had to do them, right? And so Rich knew these ninja moves, and he would hold the dog down, and I would get in there real quick and clip them because I didn't have the time to Dremel them. So if you have to do it quick, do it with the clippers. If you have a bigger dog, you want Miller's Forge clippers, and these are Miller's Forge clippers.
Yes.
They have them for smaller dogs. It looks pretty similar with this scissor design, but they're smaller and they have red handle. I don't think I have. Oh, I do have one right here, and it's still in the packaging. This is for smaller dogs or for the puppies. Yes, you're looking at that.
Good girl.
So Miller's Forge. If they are not going through your dog's nails like a hot knife through butter, it is time to replace them. Replace the clippers. They're not that expensive. They're under $10 on Amazon. Buy them, have a couple extra on hand just in case, right? Don't run out. But I like to Dremel. That's my preferred because I can shape the nail a little bit more. I can take off just a little bit at a time. And it's right behind Sam. They're on that little step. This is the one I have right now. They also have a red one. And then that one has the diamond tip on it from a company. It's like $150 diamond tip. There's cheaper ones on Amazon. So you were asking for something different. Touch Dremel because she's touching with her nose. Right? How cool is that? But I like to have the diamond tip.
Okay, nice.
You don't need it. You can do the sandpaper one that comes with it. You just have to change out the sandpaper one to make sure you're on the right grit.
That's a good girl. Can you touch Dremel?
Touch Dremel.
Yes.
And she gets the reward.
And
I was watching her, not you.
Tell her what I'm doing before I actually do it. So stay in neutral. Tell her what I'm gonna, or ask her what I want to ask for. Tell her what I'm doing, and then give her the chance to do it. Sunny,
Yeah, let's watch.
can I have your paw?
And then she moved, right? Speak, move, and then it would be a mark and a reward. Now, if Sunny doesn't want to do it, what did Sam do? She was like, okay. And maybe she's going to ignore Sunny and watch us for a little bit and make faces at you guys on TikTok. I don't know, right? But she's not going to engage with Sunny for a little bit. Sunny's going to get a little like, okay, you don't want to engage with me. We don't have to engage.
And Kate's been instructed to ignore her too. So.
Yeah, so this is hard love for Kate, but it's something we called her in here for her to see. We're live on TikTok.
You're live on TikTok?
Yep, doing Sunny with her
Alright.
nails.
I see
There's
you down
Rich.
there in the room.
This is our Muppet window. So it's like Muppets come in and go. That's our Muppet window.
It's like on Sesame Street where you come in and tell someone about the letter R or something.
Sunny.
Today we're going to learn
Yes.
about something.
So engaged, and we're going to do it. But what did Sam not do before? Sam did not grab a hold of her foot and say, haha, I've got it, sucker.
Sunny, come.
This is about cooperative care and having some time. Right, so back to
Can you
Arrow,
touch your ear?
the Malinois. And she walked away. Sam froze her movement and ignored. We're live on TikTok. Hi, Rebel. This is Rebel.
What are you up to, Rebel?
Just got done training Charlie.
Yeah,
I had Olaf somehow.
clean
Who was
knowledge
it,
yours.
Hi, ma'am.
Sorry, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sam, you brought the watermelon?
Just ignored Sunny. What?
You brought watermelon?
Yeah, you want some?
By the way, not watermelon. Not watermelon.
Sunny, come.
And then Cajun. Did you get Cajun done? Okay, so everyone's done? Cool. I'll let you guys write them in the books too. In the book here. We have a book of what we do with the dogs.
Sunny.
I wrote it down what I did with mine too.
Yes.
Okay, so back to Arrow. So Rich knew these ninja moves. I could get in there real quick and clip his nails, but it wasn't fun.
Can I
It
touch
was a
your shoulder?
fight every week,
Yes.
and I don't want to have a fight with my dog 52 times every year. Do you think that's going to help trust or destroy trust?
Can I
So
touch your collar?
we did this type of stuff with
Yes.
him. We did where I could touch his feet, I could touch the Dremel, I could have the
Can I
Dremel
touch your
on
shoulder?
in my hand and touch his foot, but I couldn't put all the pieces together.
I can't touch your shoulder? No? Okay.
So she backed up, so Sam's like, okay.
Sorry, just distracted my mom.
Oh, Lord.
She likes watermelon, Rich. Go. If you want to do the carpet with Rick. So,
Sunny.
we had a workshop,
Hi.
and the instructor was down for the workshop, and afterwards there was a groomer there too. She was going to show us some stuff.
Good girl.
And I said to the instructor, do you want to help me? And he looks at me and he looks at the dog and he goes, no.
Yes.
And I don't blame him, you know, at all. I think it's hysterical that that's what happened. So that was over the weekend. That was Sunday evening.
Yes.
And Monday morning, I offered him if-then statements to the dog.
Can you touch Dremel?
And what it was if I can trim your nail
Yes.
for 1 second with the Dremel, if I can Dremel your nail for 1 second, I'll let you lick off my plate of bacon and eggs. Because Rich and Luke and I had bacon and eggs for breakfast that day. So I had 3 plates that I could use as a reward for him. And he didn't trust me that it was only going to be a second. And the nice thing with using if-then statements, if I Dremel your nail for 1 second, then you can lick off the plate of bacon and eggs, is you have a binding contract with your dog that now you must fulfill. If you would just think to yourself, I'm going to do this, you could do it and, haha, now I've got it, I'm going to do your whole foot. No. It was 1 nail for 1 second.
Can I touch
And
your
his
eye?
eyes just got bugged out of his head whenever that's all I did.
Yes.
And then I gave him the food. He was like, oh my God, this is so easy. And like I said, this is Monday morning. And I had 3 plates of bacon and eggs to use for the day. So just periodically, 3 times throughout the day, total, it was, hey, Arrow, can I Dremel your nail for 1 second? And I would bridge him to good whenever we touch it. That was Monday. By Friday
Your paw.
of that same week, so 5 days later, I could do all his nails. So it's something,
Yes.
once he understood it, we could rapidly do it. And this, guys, is magic when it comes to cooperative care with your dog and getting them to speak in the same language and to learn and trust you.
Good girl. Can I have your paw? Yes.
So we have up here, this is our foundations, and sequencing is key. There's a reason it's number 1. You speak, you move, you
Yes.
mark, you reward. So let's watch Sam and see if she's following that.
Can I have your toe?
Speak, move,
Yes.
mark, and then reward. People want to do them all out of
Can I
order
have your toe?
or all at once, and you don't want to do that.
Yes.
Notice when she marked, she kept feeling it, and then she reached.
Can I have your toe? Yes.
And Sunny's
Break.
a year and a half old, so we want the rest of Sunny's, what's the longest dog just lived like 30 years? We want the rest of her 30 years to be awesome.
Yeah, it wouldn't be this slow and time consuming if we had started out with Sunny, like when she was baby, doing this exact statement, or if she hadn't had, negative interactions with the groomer and her nails, because what do groomers do? They're trying to get like 30 dogs done a day, so they throw them up on the table and just bam, 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 and don't take much consideration to how the dog feels about it. As long as they're not biting, snarling, screaming, they just get it done. So they're not listening to her subtle signs of being uncomfortable or scared.
Well, nor is she on the grooming table here, so it's a different environment too.
Yeah, but we have to do it this way if we want to get to the point where you can just do her nails and have her cooperate with her, have her be an active participant in getting her nails done instead of just like...
An active willing participant?
Yes, an active willing participant instead of just like being overpowered by you and suffering through it.
Because, Ninja moves to hold him down.
Yeah.
You don't want that. Right? So with Era, like I said, it took those 5 days and I could do all his feet and I would tell him everything. Okay, I'm going to do every nail for 1 second. Okay, there's 5 nails. Now there's 4 nails. Now there's 3 nails. Now there's 2 nails. Here's your last nail. And it got to the point, and it didn't take long, maybe just a couple months, where I do have a grooming table and I will get it out and I will move my dogs onto the grooming table so I can do their nails and brush them out. And he would be the first one to jump up on the grooming table. And whenever it's done and I try to get him off, he didn't want to get off of the grooming table. And whenever I would have to get him off of the grooming table, I'd turn around to get the next dog and he would jump back onto the grooming table. So he became a dog who would demand to have his nails trimmed because he understood it.
Can I have your paw?
And to get that change would not come from the Ninja hold moves, right? It would only come from this.
Yes. Good girl. Can you touch Dremel? Yes.
Okay. So notice the sequencing is still spot on.
Dremel toe. Yes.
So it's not on yet, right? She just touched it. You need to break them down into baby steps. And it's not just baby steps. It is the babiest of baby steps, which isn't a bad thing, right? We want little ones, and then we want to, if we're having success, understand that and know when to move forward and when we need to keep where we're at and when we need to regress a little bit. And regression is not bad.
You thirsty?
So she's checking out the room. So what do we have in here? This is our office. This is our training aquarium. That's the crate she's been in. That's her water bowl. The cleaners were here today, and so the mat's up, and the litter box was for puppies. They don't really need it anymore. They're really good.
Sunny.
We got the little AC thing. We have a treat and train. We like to treat and train. I call it a manners minder half the time because that's what it used to be called.
So I'm not just going to continue progressing because I don't want to progress to failure. So she'll get, she did really well with letting me touch the Dremel to her toenail. But now I'm going to go back to just paw, just toe, having her touch Dremel, things like that. Repeat it all so we can get a ton of successes. And then go back to a Dremel touch toe.
How did you make that decision, Sam?
Based on scoring.
Can you tell us about scoring?
Scoring her trials. So every time I ask her for something, can I touch your paw? Can I hold your nail? Can I have, can you touch Dremel? I've watched to see if she does it, with what efficiency she does it, and what her emotional state looks like when she does it. And given that, I'll rank her a grade, basically A, B, C, D. So if she gets an A for super awesome, then I know we can move on to the next step. I can add in a little bit more challenge and keep doing that as long as we're getting A's. But once it starts to deteriorate a little bit, or maybe her emotional state looks like it's not as confident, or she didn't do it as willingly or efficiently, like she didn't jump up and down with excitement to do it, then I know I've gotten a B or C. And if I'm getting B's and C's, then I go backwards a step, or 2 or 3, or however much. The further you go back and start over, the more likely it is that when you get to the step that you left off on, like the step that you were like, that wasn't as good as the ones before it. Then when you get to that step again, it's more likely that you're going to get an A if you went back and did more.
Far enough and you were successful and you didn't go back. Put them on with the head noose on the, so they couldn't swing around and bite me. Mm-hmm. Not so they choke themselves, just so they couldn't swing around and bite me. Muzzle them, have a couple people there to help hold and help angle. We'd sometimes use bite gloves, because we had to get these dogs' nails done. They were so long, they were curling under, you know, and for them, yeah, you get them what you can, and then you're going to go in with the Dremel occasionally and hit them back.
And bad nails can affect more than just a paw. If you think about, like, your contact with the earth starts at your feet, same with the dog. So if it's off at the ground, if you're off on the ground level, everything else gets thrown off wonky. And if you're walking around with your body in awkward positions, you know, day in and day out, you're gonna become very uncomfortable. You're gonna lose proprioceptive awareness. You're gonna develop muscle tension in spots that's not comfortable. You maybe even have some shortening of tendons from being up on your toes like this. Like, there's all sorts of things that can happen. It's just the effects of poor nail care are widespreading.
Did you see that a lot when you were training outside dogs?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people would say, oh, he goes to the groomer, but the nails are still so long that they're coming off the toe and curling down to hit the floor, and then a little bit, usually. Or the best ones I would see would come off and then just touch the floor. But I don't want their nails touching the floor. When they're standing flat, I want the nails not making contact with the ground. If they go to do a full stride and their nail just barely touches the ground, what else? But
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, we have a friend who has poodles, and after they go to the groomer, they come here and we do their nails because the groomer doesn't do them right. But she's a groomer. She's a professional. There's something called an alternate line cut, and that is really awesome. We got a question here for your service dog program. Do you require a doctor's note? Depends on what you're doing. So we don't require a doctor's note to buy one of our puppies or to do our board and train. However, oftentimes when people ask me this question, I'm not saying this is the case with this situation. It's because they self-diagnosed. If you self-diagnose, your dog is not a service dog, right? You have to have the medical condition. And for many medical conditions,
can I have your paw?
It's part of your care, right? We want you to check with your medical care team to make sure that this is the right help for you. A service dog doesn't magically fix everything. So, like, so when people ask, I'm like, why? You know, because everyone's going to have a different story. I've talked to people, like I said, who self-diagnose. That seems to be the most common, and we don't want that. Self-diagnosing doesn't cut it. But if you just want a dog from us, and you don't have a doctor's note because you don't have a disability, it's not a problem. Some of our dogs go into pet homes or therapy dog homes.
Can I have your toe?
Some of them stay and do the board and train with us.
Dremel toe? Yes. So you can see how quick she wants to get out of there from the Dremel and toe. Whenever I'm asking her if I could just hold her toe, just have her paw, she's happy to sit there and let me hold it for a while. But once we Dremel toe, she's like, okay, I'm done. You did it. You did it. So that's something I consider whenever I'm making my score. Whenever I'm choosing whether she got an A, B, C, D.
And notice, too, how much Sam is feeding her.
It's a lot.
Right? So this is something best done with a hungry or hangry dog. If you remember the Snickers commercial. You're not you when you're hangry.
Yes.
We're going to feed in position.
Can I have your toe? Your toe. Yes.
Or as they say in Wyoming, a toe.
A toe. Dremel toe? Yes. Okay, I'm out of there. See? So she repeated it just so you guys could see. Well, she didn't do it, so I repeated it so you guys could see that time how quick she was to pick them out. And then we'll go back. So I'd say that was not an A+ performance, right? Because we have to take her emotional state into it. And I can get a reading on her, how she felt about it by how quick she popped out of there. So that makes me say we got a B, which makes me want to go back a couple steps. Hi. Nice. She's a good girl. Yes. And I'll reward her just for engaging with me. Because I am doing something that's difficult, right? And I don't want her to start to hold a grudge. Like, I don't like hanging out with Sam because she makes me do stuff. Yes. Good girl.
Do you provide for out of state? Yep. Most of our people come in from out of state. We've had all over the U.S. So we've had a couple people reach out from Canada, but I don't know what the import stuff is. So I tell them they have to look into that.
Yes.
And there's breeders up in Canada. I've had people who want my pups out, like over in Singapore, and I don't know about shipping dogs to Singapore at this point. But, you know, Canada might be a different story. But yeah, all over the U.S.
Can I have your paw? Yes.
And if you guys want to be notified, we put up a lot on social media. We do lives. We do a bunch of videos. We do usually about a video a day. Go ahead and like us, do the little plus sign thing. So you're notified whenever we do go live, and share it with your friends.
Can I have your paw? Yes. Can I have your toe? Yes.
And after the yes, she's like, okay, give me the food from the pouch.
Dremel? Yes.
Nice. So we break it down, right? Sam hasn't held the toe, from what I recall, and had Sunny touch Dremel. It's been Sunny touch Dremel or Dremel touch toe. So now we're starting to get more. But notice Sam hasn't even turned the Dremel on yet. When she gets to that point, which might not even be this session, but when she turns it on, she's going to go back a few steps to make it easier for Sunny and to set Sunny up for more success.
You guys notice her staring at the Dremel right there? What's that thing gonna do?
Right?
Can you touch Dremel? Yes. So I didn't push the Dremel towards her. She actually had to move towards the Dremel to touch it, which lets me know that she's feeling okay about it. Because if she wasn't, she would have stayed right there like, and I maybe would have had to bring it closer to her face. Or if I moved it towards her, she may have recoiled. And those can be some clues to let us know how she's feeling about the Dremel. You're a very good girl. Yes, a good girl. Yes, she is. She's a good girl. Can I touch your head? Yes. Can I have your paw? Yes. Can I have your toe? Yes.
So good dog training, guys, can look a little boring.
Yes. So she's trying to take it back, but I won't let go until she relaxes. But I will put that on my score that she tried to pull back, right? I was holding her toe, and at some point she's like, okay, I'm done with this, but probably because she thought I was going to put the Dremel on it. So I take that into my score, but I also don't want to teach her that, like, just yank around and all. Once I have the thing, I want to be able to hold it until... So if I thought she was going to fight me fling around, you know, it might be a different story, but she's just kind of testing the waters of, can I pull this out of your grip? No, I want to hold on to it. And I'll reward her as soon as she relaxes, and then let her go. Yes, good girl. I think that's it for this time.
She's happy about that.
Yeah. And if we look at her, this is not an overly stressed dog. It's not a completely relaxed dog, but she's not stressed out, like, oh my god, I hate this, I need to get out of this room, I need to get away from Sam.
I'm going to crawl over Mom and go out the Muppet door.
Yeah, she's doing fine. And that's how we want to end our sessions. I don't want to sit here and harass her to the point that she's like, this is so damn lame. I am never going to take part in this with you again. Because you just do it and do it and do it and do it and do it, and I hate it. Right. So we quit while she's still comfortable.
There. Way less stressed even than she was 30 seconds ago.
Yes. And I can reward her for that. Just for being calm. She can get a little snacky poo.